Good morning, Nilda. It's good to see you kind of every morning. Hi, Sahil. Good morning. Mike. Good to see you, bud. Hi, Amy. How's the home? Good morning. How's everyone doing? Morning, Trace. Morning, Karen. Morning, Court. Morning, K. Good. And Jen. Morning, NBA Matt. NBA Matt. Hey, guys. Laura. So, Tracy, did I take it a little too far today? I was dressing up for you, Terry. I told my wife last night that it actually felt good to actually get dressed and kind of keep that schedule, take the shower and do all that. So I kind of want you guys to get dressed up today. And then I tried. I said, okay, I'm going to wear our wedding suit. And then I started putting that on, and it clearly doesn't fit anymore. But at the same time, I don't like to wear suits, so I went for a combination. I decided to wear a tie with a little bit of my Southie tuxedo. Morning, Carla. And so, hi, Jenny Kate. I decided to do a little bit of halfway. So you're going to get a little Southie tuxedo and a little dress. This is probably the most dressed up I get. And it is definitely not staying on. But I figured I'd get dressed up for you because you guys got up for me. And so I really appreciate this. And it's good to see everyone. So let's get started. So today, I just want to go over one thing before we get into our meditation. We're going to do the exact same meditation we did yesterday. The brain loves frequency. So the more we can dedicate the same simple, powerful technique to our daily repetition, the easier it is, I feel, to actually start to understand what meditation is all about. So what I wanted to do is kind of talk a little bit about how meditation works while you're doing it. I kind of call it like the meditation in a nutshell. And so when we're meditating, we're actually focused on something, right? Last week it was a mantra. This week it's the breath, or it's the combination of the two, some focus word that helps keep you centered. And if you're doing it right, at some point, you're going to be lightly focused on that object of attention. So we're lightly focused on the breath. And then at some point, we become distracted. We all become distracted. We get distracted by so many things, but I kind of listed under what I call sets, kind of our repetition of lifting. There's sets that we do of sensations, thoughts, thinking falls in that category too, emotions, and sounds. So one combination of those four things usually happen in a meditation. So we're focused, we're distracted by one of those things, and then we become aware that we're distracted. And once we're aware that we're distracted, then we make the choice to come back to the focal point, back to our mantra, back to our breath, whatever it is that you decided to focus on. And every time you do that, you're literally strengthening the neural circuits in the brain that help you deal with your empathy, your memory, and your attention for when you're not meditating. So meditation can often be riddled with thoughts and feelings and emotions that kind of creep up. But at the same time, I know if I sit through that, if I sit with it, if I practice some level of acceptance during the meditation, that I know that later on that day, I'll start to see the benefits kind of accrue. And so just talking a little bit about the emotions, a lot of us are dealing with a lot of strong emotions. I'm thinking about the teachers. Certainly, I've seen a few notes my son has forwarded to me, and certainly my daughter's teachers as well. And the schools have all been like emailing me really sweet notes. And what I'm seeing a lot is they're all anxious and they're all worried, and they didn't plan for this, and they all have their plans for school. And now we're kind of stuck in this emotional state of unknowing. And so When we get caught up in emotion, it's usually a combination of a thought and a feeling that creates that emotion. And that emotion kind of like sends a signal to the brain that something's wrong. So you get this unconscious spiraling that starts to happen. So when the signal gets sent to the brain that something's wrong, you don't even have time to think, you just react to it. And so you're reacting to something that is basically just the stimulus. You're just reacting to stuff all day long and not really being in the moment. So when we're meditating, we're actually learning to manage those emotions, and certainly not in the way, like it doesn't help us just like numb out to the pain or the suffering or the anxiety that's going on right now. It just helps us become more aware that we can feel it, and it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to feel anxious, and it's okay to feel angry right now. Where it's uncertain times, and I find once I sit with it a little bit and I practice accepting the feeling, that it changes. And that's the real goal of meditation, is to notice that sense of impermanence, that everything is always changing. And so today I just want to focus a little bit on practicing accepting whatever is happening in your meditation. I'm going to give you 2 words and then we'll get started, I promise. Innocence and surrender. If we can practice our meditation today with innocence and surrender to whatever's happening in the moment, I'm almost certain that we'll have a little bit more of a positive day. That, and if you get dressed up. If you get dressed up, send me pictures. I don't know if you can do that here. Or just let me know if you get dressed up today. Let's get started. All right, I want everyone to get as comfortable as you can. And let's gently close our eyes. And let's start by taking a deep breath in through the nose. I really want you to let it fill up the lungs and hold it. And let it go through the mouth. Really push that air out. So we're really trying to control the breath right now. So we're breathing in, holding it, and push it out. Really let it go and really control that breath. Really push it in, hold it. And this is how we spend a lot of our day. We're constricted. We're holding on to things that we don't need. So we let it go through the mouth one more time. And now just gently breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And notice what happens if you give up control. Notice how your shoulders might drop, might soften around the jaw. The breath kind of takes over and starts to settle all on its own. And so remember, I like to say there's breathing and then the awareness that you're breathing. There's an essential dimension of your being that's right here, completely camouflaged to us in the times that we need it most. And so we're just trying to get in touch with that awareness that we're doing anything. So like I said, we're going to use the breath today, but first let's work on our 3 questions. So I like to start my morning meditations off by asking myself 3 questions, and I invite you to silently ask yourself these questions too. And much like our mindfulness definition, all I want you to do is notice what arises when you ask the question. Try not to judge the answer, and ask it again. So the first question I invite you to silently ask yourself is, who am I? Who am I? And after a few days of asking this question, you might not notice or feel like you know the full answer to that question. And that's okay. What happens if you just keep asking, who am I? But ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want to see happen for me today? Just take it as simply as that. What do we want for ourselves today? Remember, ask the question and just try not to judge the answer or notice the judgment. Practice accepting it and ask it again. What do I really, really want? Okay, let that go. Last question, what is my Dharma? It's a great time to start asking yourself, what is your purpose in life? Like I say, I believe we have a unique gift on this planet that no one else has. And our job really is to find something that we're passionate about and then see if we can use it to help. So ask yourself, how can you help? How can you serve? Okay, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it fill up the lungs. Let it all go. As my teacher David G likes to say, let the universe work out any of those little details. Let's turn our attention back to the breath, but this time we're going to find out where we're feeling it the strongest. We're going to use that as the anchor for today's meditation. So keep in mind, for most of us, we tend to feel the breath the strongest, either in the nostrils, the chest, or the abdomen. So let's play around with each area. We'll settle into the nose. On the next inhale, with that beginner's mind, as if you're doing it for the very first time, see what you can feel. So sometimes I feel the cool air coming in, or the scent, the temperature. I can actually feel the pressure releasing on the exhale. So see if you can link that in and out. And honestly, sometimes for me, the breath can seem so abstract, particularly in the beginning. And it's hard for me to focus on the sensation of breath. And so if I need a little extra support, I use these support words, and I just simply place my attention right at the tip of my nose and think in as I breathe in and out as I breathe out. So the in and the out becomes my mantra. Okay, let that go. Bring your energy down. Bring your attention down. We'll bring it right to the chest area. So in the next inhale, I want you to notice the chest expand. Sometimes I can feel the torso lengthen. The shoulders may rise on the inhale. And feel it soften on the exhale. Feel yourself sink into the seat. And if I'm having any difficulty feeling the breath here, I simply try my best to place my attention in the chest area and simply think rise on the inhale and fall or letting go on the exhale. So rise and fall. Okay, let that go for a moment. Bring your energy, your attention all the way down. Bring it to the abdomen. Notice as you gently breathe in, you might feel some expansion, some tightness around the waistband, or maybe pressure the lower back up against the seat. And maybe you feel that sense of dissolving on the exhale. Almost an opening. And the mantra I like to use here is, letting on the inhale, go on the exhale. Or practice to let go. So go ahead, take a moment, find out where you're feeling it. Where does it feel the most comfortable today? Either in the nostrils, the chest, or the abdomen. I want you to pick one and then lightly rest your attention there. Keep it gentle, relaxed. Think innocence, surrender. And as I said yesterday, if you're anything like me, it's not going to take long before you'll be focused on the breath, and then your mind will drift away, and that's okay. And it usually drifts to so many things, but remember our 4 distractions, our sets, our sensations, our thoughts or thinking, some emotion, or a sound. Something will take us away from the breath. And whenever we become aware of that, just for a moment, I want you to recognize the distraction. So just mentally note whatever it is that's distracting you, be it a sound, a sensation, a thought, thinking, emotion. And then practice accepting that just for a moment. It's like a handful of seconds, and then come back to the breath. So it's a light focus on the breath till we notice we're distracted. We recognize, we practice accepting the moment. Then we gently come back to the breath. And we repeat that process many, many times. And so I want to keep meditating in this way. I'm going to keep an eye on the time. And so when you hear me ring the bowl, we'll still continue to sit with our eyes still closed. Okay, with your eyes still closed, you can let go of the breath and just rest easy. Okay, with your eyes still closed, we can start to deepen our awareness back into the space. Sometimes I like to roll the head from side to side, drop, roll the shoulders back to front to back, massage the hands together, whatever you need to do. And when it's comfortable, you can gently open your eyes. You did it. I hope that was comfortable. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. And today I just want to take our meditation into the day by practice, just recognizing when you're out of balance. Recognizing, and it's usually for me after I've already mindfully yelled at somebody. Right? I snap and oh, I could have kind of managed my emotions a little bit better there. And the way you do that is just recognizing the emotion, the thought, the feeling. And I also want to practice accepting it, accepting the present moment. Doesn't mean we have to like what's happening right now. I certainly don't like everything that's happening right now, but we want to accept it as best we can, or practice accepting. It's a little hard for me to say that. So I also want to send love to anyone experiencing anxiety right now, any parents out there, any students that are struggling right now, any parents out there struggling, or people out there struggling with their parents, not being able to be near people. I am a hugger, so I do miss the hugs, but I can get them from the three most important people in my life anyway. So anyone struggling mentally and physically, people that are worried, teachers that are worried about their students' well-being right now, just thank you. And I'm sending you much love and gratitude. And let's see if there's any questions. Thank you, Jen Fallon. Thanks, Courtney, Nancy. Thank you, Margie. All teachers. And I will, I guess, sign off, and let's do this again tomorrow. Who knows, tomorrow? Maybe it's Hawaiian Day. Maybe, like they used to do that. I don't know if they still do that in offices. We used to do Hawaiian Day. Or maybe it was out on Fridays. Anyway, tomorrow's Hawaiian Day. I'm going to go see if I have a Hawaiian shirt. And I just want to say thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Namaste.